Hi everyone, welcome to Nix and Knacks. This is Maria. So today I've decorated my tree out in the covered patio. So I want to show you what I've done. So first I have some picks that have this shiny material. The color that I'm gonna theme anyway of the colors I'm gonna go with this year's tree is gold, silver, and that shiny or shimmery green. And so I've got some picks with those three colors. And as you can see, I had already added all of the lights to the tree. I didn't get to record that. It was a pain in the butt. Originally, I was going to use different lights, and then it turned out that they were not all working. So then I had to go change the plans. Only one set of the lights were twinkling and the others are just on at all times, but I think it's fine. I think it works out. It's no big deal. So we'll continue to add the picks all throughout the tree. I really love when I found these picks. I actually got them many years ago. I want to say about 6 or 7 years ago. At Michael's, and I have used them for just so many things, not just the Christmas tree. I've added them into wreaths. I don't hot glue any of those picks when I'm using them into different projects because I want to be able to use them and reuse them. And so I have gotten so many uses out of these, and so like I said, I probably have them around maybe 8 to 10 years. And so when you think about that, I think I probably spent about $25 worth on all of them. And so I bought green, gold, silver, and blue, like a cobalt blue. Last year's color theme was cobalt blue and silver. And so it's just been awesome to be able to use these picks for many different projects. And so what I'm doing is I'm taking a step back, looking at those areas where maybe the tree isn't filled in, there aren't any of the tree branches that are covering some of those bald spots. This is an artificial tree, and I've had this for many years now too, so you know it's starting to get a little bit sparse, and so I love how these actually help to fill in that all those little open areas. And while I'm adding the picks to those bald spots, I'm also looking to make sure that I have them in a balanced way. So, you know, if I put one on the right, I try to find a place where I can put them opposite end on the left, so that it's not just random. I want to be able to show some symmetry, and so I may not have a bald spot there, but I also want to make sure that I'm not just adding them only into the bald spot, because then there won't be any rhyme or reason to it. And with these, because of the color, they're very shimmery. You can't really tell from the footage, but because of the shimmery glow on them, they definitely stand out when you're looking at it. And so I want to make sure that it does look like there's a pattern to it. So next are the ribbons, and these are really easy to make. I have this green and gold shimmery ribbon that I cut, and I make these half bows. And when I add them to the tree, they give it this beautiful pop of shimmer. And you will note that I will set them up in patterns. So first let me show you how I do this. So I cut that piece, and I fold it in half. And then once I do that, I will actually cinch. And so, so that I take all of the material and I end up in a little bundle at the bottom. And then I use a wire and I pull just enough so that I can wrap it around about maybe 4 or 5 times to hold the ribbon tight, and it stays into, and it looks like it's like a little poof. Again, it's like half of a ribbon, or of a bow, I should say. And once I do that, I wrap and I wrap, and I make sure that it's secure. The wire that I use has got that green covering on it, so it goes perfect when I insert it into the tree. I actually left about maybe 2-3 inches of that wire, so that I can go ahead and use that and wrap it into the branches, and that's what will keep it in place. So super easy to do. One roll, I think it's a 15-foot roll. I probably end up using about 4 feet of the ribbon, so plenty to use for other projects. So I'm looking to place them in a pattern, and so I started on the top right hand corner, and then I moved diagonally to the left. And I will continue that same pattern going down all the way to the bottom of the tree. And then I'm going to add a bow on the top left hand side corner, and then go down diagonally to the right. So there will be a pattern, and I'll do the same thing on the back side and on each of the 2 sides. So as you look around the tree, you'll see the pattern, again, just as what I did with the picks, where I just don't randomly place them. I want to be able to see symmetry. I want to be able to see that there's a pattern to it, and so that makes it very appealing to the eye. Now I'm going to add my pine cones. I always use the pine cones into the trees. I love that natural look, and I use the bigger ones and place them all the way inside the tree, and again looking for the opportunity of where those holes are, where I still have some bald spots, and where I think those areas will be perfect, because your eye will take you to that pine cone and it covers up the pole. So I really love using those pine cones in that way. Now for the smaller pine cones, I do pull them farther out into the outside of the branch, so that you won't lose them. I mean, if you put them all the way inside, you won't even see them at all. So I want to make sure that those small pine cones are visible, and so on the outer area is the best spot to place them. And next are our larger decorations, and those I will look for spots where I could fit them in towards the inside of the tree. They're big enough. Same thing as what we did with the pine cones, we're going to do with these larger decorations. So try to find those little areas where there's still some space where you could actually fit them in the inside of the tree, and you will still be able to see them because they're fairly big from far away. So I only have a few of those because I'm using a lot of the picks, I'm using a lot of ribbon. I do not need a lot of those larger spheres, but definitely helps to close up some of those larger spots that are still open. Now you'll notice that I'm not placing a lot of those decorations in the back. It is up against the screen. From the back you can actually see the lights, but you can't see all the details, so I'm fine with not adding all those decorations in the back. I do have a few so that it doesn't look completely bald, and so it's just enough so that I can make sure that I can use most of those decorations up in the front. And now I have a few other different shapes that I'm adding, or these decorations that I'm adding into the tree, and so looking for those perfect spots. This one is like a hexagon, a long hexagon, and so I added it in the corner. Now I'm adding some silver bows, and they're a lot smaller than the bows that we made earlier. But because they're silver and very shiny and shimmery, they stand out just beautifully. And so you'll definitely, your eye will immediately go to those, and they look amazing. So next I'm going to add a few really pretty spheres. They're like snowflakes, I should say. And I just got these, and so they have that really just generic string on them. And so I'm taking that off, and I'm adding these pretty gold hooks. And I love using those hooks. I don't like to use just the regular string that comes with those decorative pieces, because it's, you know, they're all different colors, and so I like it to be consistent, and so I use those gold pieces. Now I'm adding my little snowmen. They're really pretty, very shiny. Those I've had them for many years, and I use them in my tree every year. I figure out a way to work them in regardless of what color or theme I'm using. They're just really pretty. So we've just got a few more to go, and we're almost done. I have a few more of the smaller decorations, round silver color decorations, and then once we've added those, I also have some white poinsettias, and I got those at the dollar store, and I took off the large stems. I took off the green leaves, or the leaves that are green, because I wanted to use just the white. I have some more picks that I got a couple years ago, and these are silver. When I first added the picks at the beginning of this video, I was adding the gold and the green, and I had only 2 of the silver in my pack, and I remembered where I had placed the other, so now I'm adding the silver ones in there, and it's perfectly fine, because there's a lot of spots that I could still fill in, so no worries about placing these at this point. So we've got lots of shimmer, lots of sparkle into this beautiful tree. I'm so excited. And here I'm adding these 2 cute little white birds that are perched on branches, and I love adding some of those touches. I have I make sure that these are in my trees year over year. I had another one that eventually it broke, fell apart, so I couldn't use it anymore. So I found these two and I was really happy with it. And here are those poinsettias I was talking about. They're just these, you know, just the really the flower part, and inside they have a little bit of that gold shimmer, and so it's perfect. So again, just trying to find those spots where I can add them. So these will be the last two ornaments, and then the finale will be the star up there. And I found this really cool, it's got these two tones of gold and silver, and I thought perfect because it matches with the tree, and it's like a little puffy pillow. I actually found this at the Dollar Tree, and I thought this would be actually really pretty to put as a topper to my Christmas tree. So let's first add these two little pieces, which this one I just got this year. I thought it was the cutest little thing. Got it at the Dollar Tree. And then this one, I've had it for several years. I love it because it represents our family. I've got 3 boys, and then there's my hubby and myself. So these two are going to be center stage into our tree. So now, and I think I'm gonna need some help, so I'll be right back.